In this video, we are going to learn about the smart dimensions. Here is the icon of the smart dimension, and currently we are in the Sketcher environment, and we are going to have the demonstration of the smart dimension in the 2D sketch environment. So to confirm whether we are in the Sketcher or not, we'll get two icons here, which will signify either to come out of the sketch or to close the sketch. If you are going to click on this, just close on sketch, so it will do not save any kind of entry in the 2D sketch environment. But if you come out of this using this icon, you will get the data of the sketch to be get stored in this plane, like currently in which plane you are currently doing any kind of sketching. So we are going to cover the smart dimension in detail. Let's read the definition for once. It is going to create the dimension for one or more selected entities. So it is going to basically give you the dimension properties to the sketch, like what is the dimension of these entities we have drawn in the environment. Okay. Now, first of all, we will cover all of them, like what dimension are going to get related to each of the entity. So we will do it quick. Okay. So I'm going to put a line here, and currently you can see this is horizontal. And if you do not know anything about the relation, so you can consult to my video of relation. I will attach the link in the I button so that you can consult to the relations video and how the relations are going to be get imposed on the Sketcher environment. Now let's to talk about the smart dimension. So you have to just go to the smart dimension, and first of all I'm going to define the length here, like this is going to be 80. Now, some of the users, what they do, they just pick this point and then this point. This is also a method to define the length, but to make it fast, you just have to go to the smart dimension and just click on the line. In this way, you can also define the line, but that is also a method like point to point, but that is a basic one, and this is somehow advanced. Now we have to define the point like this for the position so that the position could get locked, and this is going to be as 35, and the vertical direction also from the origin. So most of the positions or most of the dimensions you have to give from the origin, because origin is defined to control the dimension. If someone asks you that why do we need the origin in the part modeling, so the very simple answer to this question is to control the dimension, because otherwise no one knows how to control the dimension, either to have the control of this origin from this point, or this point is going to be get controlled from the origin. So this is an interview based question, like my interviewer has asked me that why do we give the origin. If I do not give the origin, so I do not know from which to control whom. Okay, suppose if I say this, like this is 35 and this is 35, so is this point controlling this point, or this point is controlling this point? So we are sure that the origin is going to get control this line, otherwise there is no sense to give the dimension. It is like why we are giving the dimension, so we are just giving the dimension in respect to a reference or in respect to the 0 0. Otherwise there is no meaning left to give the dimension. Okay, so I hope you got the answer that why we do need the origin, so that we can control the dimension. Like this is going to control this entire entity. Like if I have to make a line, okay, so that line, please do listen carefully, that that particular line is going to be 35 by 35 far away from this point. From this point, that means we need a reference. Otherwise, there's no meaning to give the dimension. Okay, so that's the main reason to give the dimensions. Now let's do talk about the line, as this is the fully defined line. So I'm going to define a one more line here, and here some dimensions are going to be get related. Like if I click here, I will get three kinds of dimension, like this one, which is the slant one, okay, which is tapered, okay, to be more normal with the terms. So here you can say as slant or tapered. Here comes the vertical and here comes the horizontal. So how I am getting this? Just press escape. Now just go to the smart dimension, just have a single click on the line, and then you will see that this is slant. Okay, now just hover the mouse without holding any kind of key. Now just drag it. Here comes the vertical dimension. Like for getting this dimension, you just have to hover your mouse without holding any key. Okay, and if I just put it here, so here comes the horizontal. In this way we can have the dimension in the three respects. Like first one is slant, second one is vertical, third one is horizontal. This is the concept of dimensioning. Like just do have a single click on the line and then hover the mouse. You do not have to hold any key. Now I'm going to press escape. This is the first trick to place the dimension. Now, if I want to place the angle for this respective line without any kind of reference. Any kind of reference means like we need the horizontal reference or the vertical reference. No, I'm not going to draw any kind of external reference. So I'm going to click on this point and it will highlight me four axes like 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to put this one and this is going to be the angle like this. So this is going to be as 45. Now you can see I have given the angle without putting any kind of extra reference. For the extra reference, I have to draw a line like a vertical or horizontal. Then we have to define the angle. But without that, it is possible to give the angle. In the most latest versions of the SolidWorks, like this is 2020. So in this, we have this option. In the previous or the earlier versions, we do not have this option, like to place the angle without any external reference. Now, the exercise for you, like take a snapshot of this, do start making in the SolidWorks, and then give the dimensioning to this and make it fully defined. Like in this, we need 3 to 4 dimension. First one is vertical, then horizontal, then just define this point's location from the origin. In this way, this is going to be get fully defined. Just comment below once you have done this exercise. Okay. Now let's go to the next entity, which is circle. And for the circle, we must be familiar with the circle. Like what is circle and how many dimension it is going to get stored. So if I ask to you that how many dimension it is going to get stored, just think about it and this one. So if I ask to you like here, if I want to make this circle as fully defined, how many dimensions do I want? I need only one dimension. Why so? Because it is already placed at the origin, the center point. And along with that, I need only one dimension. Why so? Because I need to define the radius or the diameter. So I'm going to define the diameter for this, and the diameter is going to be as 50. But in the case of this circle, I need 3 dimensions. Why so? Because I have to control the center point of this with respect to origin. So I'm going to get into the smart dimension, and here I'm going to give the dimensions as 90 in the vertical direction, and in the horizontal direction I'm going to give it as 60. And the radius or the diameter is going to be as 50. Now, you can see the sketch is fully defined. Now the question may arise that I do not need the diameter, I need the radius. So for that, you have to just go to this dimension and just have a single click, okay, on this arrow. Otherwise it will go into the edit mode. Just go to this arrow, the dimension leader, and then have a click, and here you will get the options of leaders. So go into leaders, and here you will get the option of radius. This is radius, this is diameter, this is also the linear diameter, because it is going to show you the diameter with respect to this. Like let me show you that, like this. So it is going to be from this to this, okay. But in this case, like in this case, this is going to show you the diameter like this, but I need the radius. So just click on radius. So this is how the leaders is going to work for you. And you can see this has been converted to the radius. Now we have some options here, like you need the outside dimension or the inside. Like currently this is outside. And if you need the inside, so just click on inside. So it will show the dimension from the inside. And you can have several options like foreshorten. This is foreshorten option like this, and this is just a breakage. And here we have another option to show the radius. So you can have multiple choices like what kind of dimension you want to represent in the sketching. So this is all up to the user, whether you need the outside dimension, whether you need the inside dimension. So I mostly prefer the outside because there would be no room left for the confusion, like what is the sketching line and what is the dimensional line. So the sketching dimensions must be outside of all the sketch entities. In this way, you will get the perfect dimensions and there will be no confusion left among the readers. Now let's go to the rectangle, and I'm going to give the rectangle here. Now, in this case, how many dimensions do we need to make it fully defined? We need four dimensions, which are length, breadth, and two dimensions related to the origin, like from origin, how far this rectangle is. So this is going to be as 50, this is going to be as 60, or just make it as 110. And I'm going to give the dimension here from this point to the origin. Now the same case here, I'm going to give this as 80. Now you can see this has been blacked out because these sketch entities has been completely defined by the user or by me, because this is now fully defined. Now we have to go to the next step of this. So I'm going to give the 3-point rectangle, because in the case of 3-point rectangle we have to define the angle also, because it contains a taper like this. So I'm going to define the angle here. Just click on this line and then on this point. It will represent the four axes. Now I'm going to give it as 50. Now the homework for you is that just make it fully defined, and just let me know in the comment if you get any kind of confusion regarding this shape, like how to make it fully defined in the sketch environment using the 3-point rectangle. Now just come to the arc. We have covered with the line, circle, rectangle, and now comes the arc. For the arc, I am going to draw like this. Now to make it fully defined, we need the 3 dimension. This is the similar case as in the circle, like we need radius and the center point distance from the origin. So I am going to define it. And there is one more thing regarding the arc movement, like I'm going to show you. So there would be no confusion left for the viewers. Like, I have given the 3 dimensions, still it is not fully defined. Why so? I'll let you know about that. Now you can see this is underdefined, but before that I'm going to just delete this rectangle. Why so? Because it is going to hamper my environment. Like, it is not going to give me the results which I want regarding the this arc. Because before making this arc, the earlier sketch was fully defined and I have drawn a rectangle which was not fully defined. So I'm going to make it fully defined this arc. So now the question is that I have given the 3 dimensions. Like I have said earlier that I need only 3 dimensions, and like in the case of circle. That was regarding the confusion part. Because I really want you to be get confused. Why so? Because there is some magic or some illustrations which are going to be get added in the statement. Why? Because you can see that the arc or this curve is black, but not this point. If I just zoom in here, so this arc can move in this direction like this, and in this direction like this. So my point is that I want to make it fully defined but without giving the dimension. So there are two methods like to make it fully defined. First, you can give the dimensions from this point to any of the point from the sketcher, like from here also, because this entity is fully defined and you are going to control this dimension from this. Okay, first method is this. And the second method is this, to give the relation. So I can give the relations also. So I'm going to pick this point and this point and will make them horizontal. Along with that, I'm going to select this point and then make it horizontal. Now you can see the sketch is fully defined. Now, some of the users may have the arrow, like if I just go to this, just delete it and try to make the relation of this point with this origin at the horizontal. Now you can see item is unsolvable or item conflicts. Why so? Because it is not possible for this point to travel along this path and make them horizontal. So this is the small errors which we will get while using the SolidWorks, and the SolidWorks is not trying to give you the error. It is trying to help you that This is not the possibility. So you have to work on the possibilities like how can I solve this? Now just press escape and I'm going to delete this. So this is how we can make the sketches fully defined using the dimensions. Now let's move forward and do talk about the slot. Like here we have the command of slot and I'm going to have the straight slot here like this. Now we have to define the dimensions. Just let me drag this slot because I do not want to be get mixed up with the previous sketches. So just drag it somehow in the upward direction. Now I'm going to have this. So first of all, we need to give the linear dimension like this, like what is the length of this slot. And then we have to define the radius or the diameter you can say as, like this is going to be as 20. And at last, we have to define the position for this. So for that, I'm going to pick this point, like this point and this point. So this is going to be as 220 or give it as 250. I'm going to give some more distance here. So 280 is enough. And in the horizontal direction also, I'm going to give it as 180 and we'll wait. So you can see here, this is blacked out. That means this is also fully defined. Now just give the relation here, like I'm going to give it the horizontal. Now you can see the sketch is fully defined. So this is how we can work on this, like how to make your sketches as fully defined using the options of dimension along with relations. So I'm going to hide all the relation. To hide the relations, I am going to use this toggle of hiding the relations. The next one is like the 3-point arc slot. So this is a homework for you, like how you are going to make it fully defined. Okay, first you have to define the radius of this arc, then the radius of this arc, then the point's position, then the position of this slot. So this is how you can work on the slot for the 3-point slots. Now we have the polygon. Like if I just go to the polygon and going to make a polygon of 6 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm going to define the length of one edge and this is going to be as 80. Later on, I have to define the origin's position, like how far it is from the origin. So I have to define the horizontal and vertical. Now, the question for you. You can see that this is not fully defined. Why so? Because we are left with something. So I am going to define this as horizontal. Now you can see this is fully defined. So these are some basic practice which we need to do on the sketching part. Otherwise, we will get lost and get confused. Like I have given all the dimensions and all the relations. Still, the sketch is not fully defined because there is some movement left in the sketching. So your aim is to black out the sketch entities or sketch boundaries so that the sketch could be fully defined. Now let's move forward to the ellipse, and in ellipse we have the major axis and minor axis. So you can see, like I am talking about the major axis and minor axis. If no one is familiar with the ellipse, so how one could define the dimension? Like if no one is like if a kid is not very well known with the circle, so he doesn't know about anything like what is radius or what is the diameter. So in order to use these CAD softwares, you must be strong with the geometry, like what is the minor axis, what is the major axis, what is origin, what is horizontal, what is vertical. So before going into the CAD, you must know the geometrical shapes, sketch entities. Only then you can be able to master the CAD. Now you can see I have given the major axis, minor axis along with the this position. Still it is not fully defined. Why so? Because I am able to rotate it like this. Now how do I know about that? This is all about the practice, and one day you will also achieve this kind of master. I'm just joking about this. Now let's come to the topic. Like, these points are not fully defined, so I'm going to give them as horizontal. Now you can see this is black, and we have the toggle of fully defined. So in this way we can give the dimension, and I hope you can define the dimensions for the point. Like, if I just place a point, so this is your homework regarding the point and how to make it fully defined. So this is all in this video. I hope you have enjoyed the learnings of this knowledge packed video. Please do like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe our channel. Thank you.